Today, yet more probes into the great supermarket ripoff. Hello again, it's Martin North from Digital Finance Analytics, one that is post covering finance and property news. Well, it seems to me that inquiries into the supermarket sector are a bit like London buses. They don't come and then they come in waves. So we have yet another inquiry into the great supermarket ripoff announced. The ACCC, in fact, welcomed the announcement by the Australian government that it's going to direct the ACCC to conduct an inquiry into Australia's supermarket sector, including the pricing practices of the supermarkets and the relationship between wholesale, including farmgate, and retail prices. The long inquiry will also examine competition in the supermarket sector and how it's changed since the ACCC's last inquiry back in 2008. We know grocery prices have become a major concern for the millions of Australians experiencing cost of living pressure, the ACCC Chair Gina Cass-Gottlieb said. When it comes to fresh produce, we understand that many farmers are concerned about weak correlation between prices that they receive for their produce and the prices consumers pay at the checkout. And we're going to use our full range of legal powers to conduct a detailed examination of the supermarket sector, and where we identify problems or opportunities for improvement, we will carefully consider what recommendations we can make to government, she said. Following the ACCC's 2008 inquiry, Coles and Woolworths provided enforceable undertakings to the ACCC to remove restrictive tenancy provisions that have prevented possibly shopping centres from leasing space to competing supermarkets. And the ACCC's investigation led to more than 700 potentially restrictive leases. Competitive markets encourage more attractive combinations of price and quality for consumers, as well as greater choice, the ACCC Deputy Chair Mick Kehoe said. Our inquiry will examine the nature of the current competitive environment between supermarkets, as well as the barriers to greater competition and new entry in the sector. We believe we are well placed to conduct this broad-ranging inquiry and will bring to bear our expertise in competition, consumer law, agriculture, and the supermarket sector in particular, Mr. Kehoe said. The inquiry will also look at any emerging issues relating to more recent trends, including online shopping, changes in technology, and loyalty programs. The ACCC expects to publish an issues paper in February seeking views on the key issues that it will consider in the inquiry. An interim report will be provided to the Australian government later this year, and the final report is due to be provided early next year. And the ACCC is going to publish the formal direction from the Australian government, including terms of reference when it receives it. In fact, under Part 7A of the Competition and Consumer Act, the Treasurer can direct the ACCC to hold a price inquiry into a particular matter. Such an inquiry allows the ACCC to use its compulsory information gathering powers to collect information from the relevant parties subject to the inquiry. And the ACCC's inquiry in the supermarket sector, by the way, is separate to the government's recently announced review of the Food and Grocery Code of Conduct, which relates to the conduct of retailers and wholesales towards suppliers. The ACCC currently has a role in promoting compliance with the Voluntary Food and Grocery Code and will be actively contributing to this review of the code. And the ACCC recently indicated that it's been closely considering reports from consumers alleging false or misleading was, now, or other pricing specials advertised by the supermarkets, and whether they may raise concerns under the Australian consumer law. The ACCC's assessments are ongoing and are entirely separate to this new inquiry into the supermarket sector. And of course, the Senate's in the middle looking at what's going on in the supermarket sector, and some states are also running inquiries. So it is very much flavour of the month to look at the supermarkets. Now, I believe that this is a very important chance to really unpick what's going on, soup to nuts, as it were, with regard to the supermarket sector. It does seem to me that they are able to maintain their pricing power and are doing so using a number of tricks, many of whom disadvantage the farm suppliers as well as some consumers. I hope the ACCC also looks at shrinkflation, where prices stay the same, but the volume of product sold reduces. And I think it's very important to look more broadly at the broader competitive framework, where we have a couple of large players, Aldi calling the shots really. But of course, Australia seems to love to maintain the sense that only one or two players in each sector are required. Look at telecommunications or even the banking sector. There is an important role for true competition here, and I think it's really important that the ACCC really works on this particular issue. So I welcome this announced review, and I think it's going to be important, but of course it can take a long time to play out. In the meantime, expect food prices to continue to rise well above target in terms of inflation, and expect shrinkflation to continue. That's just the nature of the beast. I'm Martin North from Digital Finance Analytics. Many thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.